Okay, here we have the Kanger or Kangertech, as it's called, EVOD kit. So let's see what's in the box. Of course, you have a user's manual, very commonplace that you're seeing. You have two assembled units. So you have two EVOD units here. So we're just going to pull this on off to reveal what's under there. And here you have your replacement coils, your heating elements, and then of course your USB charger. So we'll pull that out first. And just showing you, of course, you do have the wall charger, so that plugs on into the wall. You have your USB connection right there. And also, we have the USB charger. So this is just like all the other chargers. You just put the battery, swing it on there. It's going to go from green to red when it's charging, green when it's fully charged. Very easy to use. Any USB point that you want to do, if you want to plug it in a computer, USB point in your car, whatever it is, it's very, very easy. So like I said, we also have the coil units that are in there, and I'll get into that in a second. 5 replacement coils, actually 5 total. Usually it's 3 that's in here and 2 that are already pre-assembled within the fully complete EVODs that you're looking at. A lot of kits, you kind of have to put stuff together. For this, it's just put in your own liquid and go. These are, of course, sold without any e-liquid in there. And on this kit, let's look at an EVOD with some liquid within it. So here you have the EVOD kit. This top end is a Clearamizer, as it is called. The bottom end is an Ego battery, but it's EVOD's, the EVOD brand of Kangertech. So you do have a battery that is flush, a battery button that is flush. A lot of people do like that. Because they tend not to accidentally push onto the battery when they have it in their pocket or whatever it might be. All Ego series batteries that you're looking at in recent times, whether it's Joyetech, Kanger, Z-Brand, whatever it might be, they all have that on-off function of the 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off, and it's very simple to do. Like on this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it clicks on off there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's back on. So very easy to use. This is, of course, sold with a 650 battery standard. That is pretty standard that you're looking at. Just like all the other Egos type series, you're looking at 3.7 on the volts. So that's nice. Let's get into your top end. Like I said, it is a Clearamizer that you're actually looking at. The Clearamizer, this one here, it has a metal housing and it has a small little window that lets you know how much liquid that you do have in there. So that's kind of neat the way that this one is designed, where it really has a nice look to it, doesn't it, folks? I mean, all put together, we can see why, as far as Clearamizer units go, EVOD is definitely in the forefront if you're looking for one of these type of units. I will very quickly take one of these empty guys, open it on up, and show you how they're made. Just like other Clearamizers, bottom coil Clearamizers, you just take any e-liquid, usually having a needle tip. You'll see where this is handy. Put that off to the side, and you fill it on up. Once you've filled it on up, you put the base back in, screw the base in, and you're good to go. You got your liquid in there, you're using it. Always keep an eye of where your level is at. This is just like any other unit. If you run it without any liquid, it'll burn the coil out like that. So you want to make sure that you do have that liquid on in there. Here you have your coil. Unscrews like so, and comes back on out there. Kanger is in the process, as we're making this video, of making a universal coil. At one time, it was their different T3Ss, their EVODs, everything that you see there. They all had their own coil, replacement coil. Now it looks like it's going to be a universal coil. The coils themselves, I'll hit on this. These coils that you're looking at, usually it's about less than half the lifespan of what an atomizer does. But it's kind of interesting too, because an atomizer is usually double the price or a little bit more, where these are, of course, the exact opposite. So it's kind of a half dozen the other. The coils, you'll know when they go out one of 3 ways. The first one is the wicking that's on the bottom of this coil here will burn out, and you're going to get a burnt taste in the back of your mouth. In fact, as we're talking about that, every single e-cig unit that you have, if you ever have that burnt taste in the back of your mouth, it's usually your heating element where the wicking has burnt out. There's no way really to repair that because it's the physical wicking that is burnt out and it needs to be replaced. So that's one of the ways that it goes out. The second way is you'll have a little bit of e-liquid that you'll get on your lips, and that's because the coil is not transferring and creating the liquid into vapor anymore. It can't do that. So there's one of two ways. Either the coil has gone out, or the other one is these guys can kind of jostle loose, and this is for any bottom coil atomizer, clearomizer that you're looking at, is it'll just get a little loose. So make sure every time you fill it on up, you fill up your clearomizer, just to turn that and make sure that it's tight. Don't go gorilla on this, gorilla hands on all of these that you're seeing. I'm commonly seeing people do this a lot. Just make sure it's nice and it's tight. The last and third thing that I'd like to kind of mention is of failures of your coil is it'll just dissipate over time. It'll go from 10, it'll go down 10% and then maybe another 20%. And that's one of those where if you ever have one of these units or even any electronic cigarette unit and it worked so well for you for, you know, weeks or whatever it might have been, and now all of a sudden you're kind of getting an urge for a cigarette again, you don't understand what's going on, usually your heating element is starting to fail. It's not giving you that proper the nicotine that you're used to, the vapor output. So before you go back to trying a cigarette, put in a new coil or new heating element, atomizer, whatever it might be. I'm sure that's going to fix it right on up for you. So getting back to this, like I said, remember everybody, make sure not to kind of gorilla tighten it. It's another common thing I see with these is when you are tightening these guys here, people will over tighten them, and it just can cause some problems. Where that problem comes in is there is a little point that you see right there. If you push it too far in, that point will get shoved too far back there, and then all of a sudden it won't work any longer. And I've seen that where people will replace coils when they don't really need to. But this is the EVOD. Get it into clearomizers, like you may have watched some of my other videos. I have videos on, you know, the Joyetech products, all the different ones that you see. Ones that have atomizers, in my opinion, give a little bit fuller of a flavor, where the clearomizers, they may mute the flavor just slightly. This is a clearomizer unit. All in all, great unit. I definitely endorse this one. If you've heard of an EVOD or if this one looks like it's up your alley, definitely pick one up. It's really great. Just like any other Ego type series, this is an Ego battery. It will accept all kinds of different top ends. It'll accept 510 ends, Ego C top ends, cartomizers, and it gets confusing even for somebody who's been doing it for a long time. All of those different top ends that you do like. So this is the EVOD by Kanger.